Hey y'all, I'm getting ready to list a bunch of dog items that I have and have been holding on to. And so I got them cleaned up over the last day or so, and I'm going to go through them with you and then get them all listed in my store. So these first things here are glass plates, and I think that they were uh, like a hobbyist sort of project, if you will. Probably the person owned dogs that were very similar to these two here. Obviously, you got a collie, and then I guess, what do you call that? A standard poodle. All right, if you look real close on these, you can tell that this is like a fabric. I think it's probably a pillowcase or a sheet or something. And then what they ended up doing was, I'm not sure if it's Mod Podge, but it's going to be something along that line. I did take a damp cloth to the back of it and clean it. It was kind of dusty and stuff, and cleaned that off, and it didn't gum up or anything. So I'm not sure if it's some type of glaze. I think they're kind of neat for home done projects. People are always doing stuff like that. You know, getting stuff at dollar stores and whatnot, making cool stuff. I just think it's always neat when you can do little home projects. So they may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I think they're neat. I'm not sure how I would want to go about listing these guys. Oh, there's still some dirt on you, buddy. I got them in an estate sale auction. Uh, I think they came extra, in a lot. I generally buy things in a lot. I think they were extra in it. But they were kind of, whether they're worth much or not, I still liked them. Thought they were worth the extra. And I'm just not sure when I go to list them if I should list them together or separate, because I have a feeling listing them separate would probably be best. Most people who love collies don't necessarily love poodles. And so I fear that selling them together, it would deter some buyers because they're looking for a specific dog and they don't have a need for the other one. So I may try listing them separate first and see if there's any interest in them at all, even. This guy here, I love his little face. And I don't know if these are actually supposed to be like little teardrops on him, but and then you can clearly see his whole nose here, but no, they only gave him one little black dot there. The rest is just glazed. But he's got a little basket behind him here. I think he might be Shawnee or something. He doesn't have any markings on the bottom, but I think he might be Shawnee or something similar to that. But he's just a cool little planter. I honestly don't see any crazing on him. I don't see, even on the inside of the planter, I mean, there's a tiny bit of dust, but there's no condition issues. I don't see crazing or cracks or anything. But I think he's adorable. I don't know what he'll sell for. I don't think any of these that I'm showing you are, big high dollar bolo, big ticket items or anything, but you know, they're still cool nonetheless. These guys here, you can see his eyes. He's got like light brown eyes, but then the rest of him is completely black. They're a glossy black glaze. They are anatomically correct young men. I guess these would still be standard poodles, standard black poodles. And these are made by Goble. Let me see. One of them still has the sticker. So here's his sticker. He's got the B mark. I can't remember when that mark was used. I don't think they're terribly old items, but they're really well done. Oh, that's right. They were 1963 or 8. It's hard to tell. But it's impressed on here. And then CH670. is on him. But they're neat little guys. I imagine I'll probably list them together. I thought about doing them separate, but only one of them has the sticker. The other one's just impressed. I don't know. I don't know. Do people want a pair of figure? I mean, isn't that how they used to come, like Staffordshire style, where you do a pair? I don't know. But I'll try selling them together. See what they do. Now this little guy, or little guys, these are rabbit dogs, not rabid, rabbit, like the bunny dogs. I have no, they're almost gremlin looking. I don't know. But clearly it was an ashtray. They're white with gold eyes and, you know, gold little accents and stuff. There's his mark on him, made in Japan. I don't remember which company this one is, but made in Japan. I imagine he's, what, 40s, 50s? I don't know, somewhere in there. I haven't done a whole lot of research on all these guys yet, so I'm just kind of winging it off the top of my head here. So I think they call this calico when it's got, you know, the little multicolored dots on him. I guess this is a dog. I think this one's kind of maybe like a baby cow dog. I'm not sure, but he's got this thing here like he's an ashtray, and I assume these were maybe what you stubbed your cigarette out in. He kind of looks like a flower frog to some degree, but these would be pretty shallow for that. I don't know. I don't know. I think he was an ashtray, and I think that's what you did is you stubbed your cigarette out in here, and then here was your tray. And he's got his little made in Japan sticker or stamp on there. But he's just a cute little lusterware piece. Right, this guy, his eyes were probably cold painted, I'm guessing, because, well, they're gone now. But he still has his bow right there. This is one of those like thick spaghetti poodle guys. And the only thing he's marked with is on his the bottom of his paw. I think it says 59 on there. I believe he's a Japan one also. He does have his little, I guess that would have been a whisker, maybe. It would have been similar to this side. But that's broken off, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has another little spaghetti here and there broken, but for the most part he's intact. You know, this will probably bring his value down a little bit, but he's so spaghetti-y. That's not a word. He's got so much detail going on that this, honestly, you don't really notice it right off. So I don't know. I still like him. All right, then you got these guys. So this is, I'm guessing, a mom dog and her little puppy there. It's not marked. You know, this could be a Japan piece, but it's got a little bit more weight to it than I expect from Japan, but it likely is Japan. Although, I don't know, Staffordshire ones do kind of have this, what would you say, like sort of messy glaze looking, unorganized glaze looking on him. But I don't think they're Staffordshire. They've got their cold painted red collars on there. Still mostly there. But I'm not sure who made him. He's definitely got crazing. But no chips, no cracks. Just, you know, definitely crazing on him. This guy here, he is like a resin, probably. But I love his eyes. I know on the camera they kind of look like, almost look like they were glass or something, but they're not. They're painted on. But what would he be? A Yorkshire Terrier? And he's got his little tongue hanging out there and one paw up, you know, to give him a shake. What I like about resin figurines, while they don't typically carry a lot of value to them, what I like about them is these are good things to be able to set, like, maybe not directly out in the rain, but they can be on your porch and stuff like that. They can withstand the elements. Certainly a lot better than your porcelain ones and stuff. All right. So this heartbreaker here, he is by Rose Lane. Big bulldog guy, and he's got his pups under his arms there. And I think he was meant to have a cigar at one point, and it probably got broken off, or I don't know, something. I mean, the hole looks like separate and like a separate item that probably, I don't know if it was ceramic at all, but was set in there. So I don't know if that's replaceable or what, but there's his base. And I guess Rusty painted him in 69. I don't know. Was Rusty an artist or painter or whatever at Rose Lane? I don't know. But Rusty felt his name needed to be on there, so Rusty did it. Okay, so this little hound dog guy, I'm not sure. I can't remember what these guys were used for. I believe he's made in Japan again, but I feel like I've seen where these guys are ashtrays or something, but his head's kind of like pointing downward, and that's not a very wide opening. So I don't know how good he works for that purpose, but nonetheless, he's cute. He's adorable. Scratching his ear. And he's got like, it was a gold gilt. You can kind of still see the actual gold color to it there, but it's darkened over time, and obviously it's cold painted. This one here is, I think, a plaster or chalkware maybe, but I don't know if that's like a King Charles Cavalier or supposed to be like, what do they call them? Lhasa Apso? However you say that. I don't know. But he's another one with like, they made a full nose on him, but when it came time to paint the nose, they were like, just boop, nope. That's all you get, bro. That's all you're gonna get. But he's not marked. I don't think many chalkware pieces generally are marked. But he's some kind of plaster or chalkware. And there's no like that I can tell anyway, impression on him. You know, he's got some paint chipping and stuff, which is going to be real common with plaster and chalkware pieces. Then we got this guy, and surprisingly, out of all of them that I'm showing you, the itty bitty chihuahua is honestly like the heaviest, I think, out of all of them. So he's giving, like a side eye thing. He's got them orange eyes because we went for lifelike on this one. But he otherwise is really like lifelike looking. Like, look at the detail in his paint and stuff. But I think he's a ceramic, and he's like a heavy, like a dense ceramic. Like, I'm not entirely convinced that he was put in a mold. I almost wonder if he wasn't an actual sculpture. I don't know. But they put felt on the bottom of him. And so if there was any details under there, I don't know what they are. I don't know who made him, but he's a cool piece. He's almost heavy enough he could be kind of a lightweight paperweight. So she's got the cold paint on her mouth and ears. That's all still there. Obviously, one puppy did not make it. And they both look quite traumatized from whatever occurred. But they are made in Japan. They're redware. These guys are going to date back, to the 30s, 40s, something like that. Okay, so this is the guy that I said the other day, I don't know if I could sell him. I love him. He is adorable. He's a little dirty up in there. Not bad, but just a little dirt. I'm sure it would come out. So here's like a black, it's under glaze, a black X. And then on the back of him, there's impressed on here, and it's 99, what is it, 50, and then Roman numeral 3. So I don't know if anybody out there knows exactly who made him. I don't know where he was made. He feels good quality. Oh, and he's got a 16 for like a mold number impressed right there. But what would he be? Like a Yorkshire Terrier kind of dog? But I mean, talk about lifelike, other than being like really glistening with gloss, but he's just, I like him a lot. He's a really neat one. And here's another one. I'm not sure where he was made. He may very well be Japan, but he has no markings, nothing along his uh, edges here. Looks like he was airbrush painted, but they gave him like these, I mean, wow, bright eyes, like light yellow eyes. I like him. He's got some weight to him, which makes me think, well, maybe not Japan, like a lot more than Japan pieces normally, but he very well could be Japan. I'm not sure. So this guy here, out of all the dogs, he kind of creeps me out. Like he looks like, I don't know, a zombie dog. Like, look at his eyes. Why did they do that? They could have just done black, but no, they went like pale dead gray. But he is made in Japan, and it did take me a minute to notice, but there is his Japan mark there. I don't think he has any other markings on him, but you know, no chips, no cracks. You know, he's clearly done in a mold here. That's not a spine, sort of, but that's not his spine. That's a mold seam. This one here, I mean, come on. He's got the Google eyes, and they do Google. Find it interesting they did the blue Google eyes. I feel like most Google eye things I find are the black pupils in there. So I kind of like that it's blue. And then whoever had her put, I assume her, I don't know, whatever, blue felt on the bottom. So if there was any marking or anything down here, I don't, obviously I can't see it now. And I don't see that I can tell anyway, any impressions in her fur or anything like that to tell me where she was made, but she feels like not plaster. I'd say she's ceramic with a matte glaze. All right, so these are not dogs. These are bears, but they were in with my dog figurines. So I said to heck with it, and I cleaned them up. I don't know if you can see it on here. It's bone china shiken, I think is what it says, Japan. So they remind me a lot of sort of like Wade Whimsy's, only sort of thinner porcelain, more a little slightly more lightweight porcelain maybe than a Wade Whimsy. But I love that they gave him blue eyes and how lifelike they're meant to be. Like they actually did a pretty good job on him, and they have no markings on their bellies or anything. Definitely bone china. The sticker didn't lie. This guy, well, maybe girl, it might be the dad, I don't know, with the two puppies on the side here. Some sort of terrier, made in Japan, of course. But I don't know. This is such a simple little figurine, but I like it. It's kind of muted with the colors and stuff, but I like it. I think, yeah, the eyes and nose and stuff is cold painted on these guys, but for most part, it's still pretty intact. All right. He is very thin, very lightweight porcelain, but he is a boss. I mean, look at him. What is he, a boxer? Yeah, he is. think he's got, yeah, his Japan mark is written in here. There's one boxer figurine made in Japan. I feel like its name was Champ, and it had like a sticker, I think, on the chest that said Champ or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about him except that he's, lightweight and he's in great condition. But he's another that's, I think, meant to look a little bit more lifelike. Now they lost they lost the lifelike part, I think, with the eyes. But outside of that, he's, I think, made to look pretty lifelike. And here's another tiny little dog, like maybe I don't know, a Scotty? Is that what he would be? A Scotty? He's got his little cold painted red lips there. I'm assuming, I'd like to think that they put pupils or eyeballs in him originally, but they very well may not have. He's Japan, but no damage to him either. And then you got this guy. He's clearly a hunting dog. He's another lightweight porcelain Japan piece here, but no damage to him. I don't know what kind he would be. Like a pointer of some kind. English pointer. I'm not sure. But again, with the eyes, man. Like you'll find Japan pieces. This is kind of the standard. It's kind of what they get. Just straight to the point. This one here is another Japan piece, and I'm assuming that's whatever store would have sold it originally, this collie. But I love how it's sitting with these little legs like stretched out underneath him. He's really cute. And he's lightweight, but he looks really good. I don't know if they would have done this with probably airbrush and then glazed over him. Let me show you this one. I'm gonna list her. I have no idea how much to list her for. She's just a simple little resin figurine. I doubt she's terribly old. But I thought that was adorable. She's washing her little puppy, and like 3D little bubbles down here and soap, and where's her little, she's got a little wash brush out. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a mitt. She got like a bath mitt on to wash the dog. But just real, I don't know, dainty and innocent. In that resin, yeah, resin stuff. No markings on it. I don't know who made it, but cute. Okay, so these last two here I'm going to show you. I don't know that I can list them, and the reason is because, well, he's got a little chip to his, it's actually mostly really the glaze. The ceramic itself doesn't look like it got dinged much, but it definitely chipped off his glaze. And he's made, he's an UNESCO piece, so he's made in Japan. And he's also sitting with these legs kind of curled up under him. But and he's another one where the eyes, that's not glass, that's just paint, but it's super glossy, so it gives it this very, kind of realistic look to it. And I imagine he's also airbrush painted. But I don't know, I might try and list him and see if anybody still wants him. I mean, I guess you could always turn him a little bit, but it's right on his face. It's like, shit, poor guy. Now this one here is German, and there's the marking on that one. I can't remember the name of the company. I think that was PM, and Lord knows I won't be able to pronounce it. Made in Germany though, yeah. And so, I mean, pretty well done. I like it though. I like the dog and cat sitting together, and I feel like this is a little bit more of a unique piece because it is a dog and cat together. Generally, that's not the case. Or if it is, it's the typical stereotypical, dog cat fighting business going on. But these guys are just kind of chilling, like, like besties here. But I noticed that he's got a crack. It hasn't gone all the way, but it's kind of creeping. And this one here hasn't gone all the way, but Oh, and he is anatomically correct as well. Good for him. So I don't think that any of the pieces uh, that I've got here are high dollar pieces. I don't think any of them are, probably over 20 to 30 on average for some of them. Some of them are less, some of them maybe a little bit more, but I think sort of maybe the median on some of them is probably around, I'd say $20. So but if you go on eBay and look at the sold listings and stuff, it is kind of surprising. Some of the even more generic, just stamped Japan porcelain dog figures have sold for around $100. And I honestly, I look at the listing and stuff and I can't really figure out why it's sold other than the fact that, I mean, it looks well done. It's not broken. It's not, that kind of stuff. But why people pay that for it, and then you look at other ones and they paid $10. So I don't know the reason for that or how that happens. But my advice is when you're listing things like this to look for that sort of median range, really. And depending on what it is, but look for that median range because oftentimes the really high dollar numbers that you're going to see that things sold for are going to be one off wonders, basically. I find that sometimes when you're looking at things and you're saying, how did they get this for it? When there's only one or two that sell for that high number and the rest of them are all much lower. So pay attention to that to just try to help you figure out a good starting listing price on it. Um, but yeah, I don't think any of them are big high dollar ones. Like I may be surprised and I'll let you know if I am. But they're still fun and collectible. And uh, while there's plenty of them out there, there's not always plenty of them that are in good condition. And then people that are dog lovers, but they're generally not just. I mean, we all love dogs, right? We love all of them, but generally people who like a specific breed, they don't buy other dog breed figurines and collectibles. They buy the breed they like. So it just depends what breed the item is. I find that hounds and terriers of different types are the most predominant figures and decorative pieces that I come across. So anytime you find anything that's kind of out of that category, I generally will pick them up because those are the ones people are often looking for and they have trouble finding them. There's an endless supply of, like pointer hunting dogs and stuff like that, English setters and stuff. All right, so anytime you're messing with figurines, animal figurines, it's always helpful to have good reference books or other materials. And that way you can look through it. And even if you don't find the exact item that you have, you can look for little characteristics in yours that may match up with others and point you in the direction of figuring out maybe who made it, where it came from, time period, that kind of thing. And then also to some degree give you the ability to hopefully find an approximate value on it. Here's one of the books that I've gotten. I think this is a pretty good book. It covers a pretty wide variety of all different pieces and stuff. Everything in here from chalkware, porcelain, plaster, hydrostone, ceramic, several different glazes and stuff, and it's all represented in here. And the problem with looking online is not just that the information you're looking at could be wrong. I'm not even going to say that people intentionally try to put wrong information out there. I'm sure that they do, but that's not even where I'm going with it. It's more the fact that anymore, if you go and type into like your Google search for um, vintage Japan porcelain dog figurine, you are going to come up with untold amount of pages of search results that are basically listings on eBay, Posh, whatever, Mercari, all these different selling platforms and stuff, and you're just going to have a whole slew of them listed for pages and pages and pages. I mean, I find that it's getting pretty difficult anymore to find information. It takes a little while to dig, you know, to find company history on old potteries and stuff like that. And I mean, it was kind of difficult enough before as it was. Like I've said before, just as time goes on, documents get lost, places disappear, the people who knew about it are no longer around. So having things like this it can be invaluable reference tools. One of the websites I go to order a lot of my research books, collectors books, that kind of thing, is it's called Better World Books, and they have new books also, but they have used books as well. So it's kind of a used bookstore online. And I have found that, you know, their pricing on for the most part on books tends to be a little bit cheaper than other places. I've ordered from them numerous times. I've gotten dozens and dozens of different types of books, reference books and stuff from them, and it generally does take a little bit to receive them, anywhere from, you know, a week or two. But it's because it's basically for the most part anyway, like libraries and stuff that are getting rid of their books, and so they list them for sale. And so if I go and I order 5 different books, they have literally come from every book from like a different state. And so I think they have them all maybe shipped to like a hub station, and then they're packaged together and sent to you. So I will say it's not an Amazon type quick delivery within a day or two. It does take a little bit of time, but again, I find good reference material at decent prices. And like I said in my last video, when I, you know, gave some information on like the bubble wrap company that I use, I have like 8 or 9 subscribers. I'm not monetized. Nobody's paying me for this. But my point in this channel, my intention in this channel is to try to give some resources that I know about, you know, a little bit of guidance or information that I have that I can personally attest to help other people like me that are small resellers. They maybe don't know these things yet, or haven't found a good place to find those things at yet. And so I just try to pass the information along. I haven't had any issues with Better World books. The only thing I'd say is it generally takes a week or two to get it, because they're being sent in from all over the place to get to you. Yeah, I think that's about all my little kind of dog pieces for now. I just thought I'd run through those, show them to you guys, and I've got all their info ready to go ahead and get their photos done and get them listed on eBay. So if anybody's interested in any of them, feel free to shoot me a message. Absolutely happy to help with that. And if anybody has any information on these guys, you know, like anybody know who made this guy, see you on the next one.